Welcome to Signs of Life. I like to call it a collection of visual clues to the contrasts and contradictions that make life so lifelike. And this is the title piece, Signs of Life, on a huge sign, Stu Leonard sign in Norwalk. And the other image is of the sign, says, "If not now, when?" which I think is the universal question that we can all ask. And I'll leave it at that. The two pieces here explore the contrast between night and day and the transformation that happens to a place by the simple passing of a few hours of time, just the daylight, and turns into night, and then the lights go on and people come and go, and it takes on a magic and a total different personality. This piece is called Housebound, and like the others, it explores the passage of time, but this one goes from summer to winter, and it's a deserted old house off the Merritt Parkway in Fairfield, and in the summer there's a mysterious woman poking her head out of the door there, and we can all wonder who she is and what she's doing there. This large piece is really a collection of made-up signs. I'm a graphic artist and I kind of like to play with words, so this is really just playing with typography and signage, and it's all in yellow and black like highway signs, and plays with the back and forth of contrasting words that are unlike anything you might see on the highway, hopefully, and together they make, I think, a nice mosaic of color. Now the two pieces on either side are called political ties, front and back, and there's a well-dressed young man wearing a red tie in one frame, and in the other frame he's blindfolded with that tie and he's bound to a chair, possibly being interrogated or tortured or whatever. You can leave that to your imagination. The three pieces on this wall were all inspired by photographs taken in Africa, and then contrast created with photos taken here in the United States. This one's called Brothers, and there's a Maasai tribesman in Africa taking me through a morning botanical tour in the grass, and I never thought it would become anything more than just my own scrapbook photo. But then in New York, months later, I was following this man in Times Square, and he's wearing this phenomenal jacket, and there's an African American and an African, and they're brothers, separated by thousands of miles, and yet separated only by seconds and no space at all here. And the companion piece is called Sisters, and there's a Maasai woman in the middle of the Serengeti, 100 miles from anywhere, and then a suburban tribeswoman, standing in the middle of Main Street in Westport, and wearing the same colors in her own tribal getup. And the middle piece is simply, it's called Hard Road, and it's an African road and a street in New York City with strangely no traffic on it, but they seem to match up pretty closely. Now at the end of this little corridor is a piece called Plumage, and there's an attractive woman looking at a wonderful painting of a parrot, and the other frame, when you move, the woman's clothes, her plumage disappears, and it seems like the looks have been exchanged. She's looking at the parrot, then her clothes disappear, and it looks like the parrot's now looking at her, more interested in her than she is in him. But that's more of a playful piece. This piece is called Wordscape, and again, it's just the graphic artist in me playing with words and the shapes of letters and the colors and the meaning of the words. And it's meant to be kind of a decorative piece, but a little thought-provoking too. Now, on the other side of this room is fried dough. And this was taken at a carnival called the Italian Festival in Westport. And it too explores the difference between day and night. And here at a carnival, During the day, there's this abandoned trailer concession stand, lifeless, nothing going on, a Snapple bottle on the pavement. And at night, it comes alive. It's the very same place, all of a sudden magic, people, lights, things going on. It's just interesting to me how the same place takes on a completely different character. These two pieces over here are part of the same festival, and they really explore the same thing. This one's Prize Factory, and this one's called Elvis. Same day and night contrast. And the one in the back here is called Wired, and one image is of a man, a tattoo artist in Bridgeport, Connecticut, who's got this tribal tattoo. I think they're from New Zealand. The tribes people that have these tattoos on their face, and the other image is of a toy robot. And the tattoo reminded me of almost a schematic wiring on an electronic board, and of course the robot is a wired replica of a human, so I thought that was kind of an interesting combination. This big piece, which I wanted to be life-size, and I think it is almost life-size, is called Pandora, and it's really, the image doesn't change too much at all. A woman is pretty much in the same position, so don't look for her to change, but sometimes she's covered in rose petals, and other times she's covered in spiders. And my original intent was to have it so it was either all rose petals or all spiders. And it didn't work out that way, and I think for the best, because, not to put too much into this, but you know, life isn't all spiders, and it's not all rose petals. There's always a spider in the rose petals, and there's always a rose petal in the spider, so I think that maybe works better, more effective the way it is. This little one back here is called Yellow Sign, and it's just kind of playing with an actual highway sign that I took a picture of and then changed the lettering. It kind of makes me wonder, when you drive down the highway, if these signs gave us more messages than maybe they do now. It'd be interesting if they told us a little more about life than they do, and what would happen. You know, what would our lives be like if we got these messages from highway signs. This one's called Devotion. It's another seasonal summer-winter play, and this is a woman visiting a graveyard. I live across the street from this graveyard, and it was inspired by a man that I see every Sunday get out of his car and talk to what I assume is the grave of his wife. Every Sunday for the last 10 years, this man is standing there. You can tell by his gestures that he's talking to his wife. So this is trying to show the devotion over time that somebody has for a loved one. This wall has, on either side, two companion pieces called Hue and Me, H-U-E and Me. And just, again, kind of a fun piece from playing with paint in my own hands and the revealing and concealing of a color. This middle piece is, and the last piece in the show, is called Choices, and this was, the model actually is my son, who I built a little box and asked him to pose in it, and the idea was to explore, you know, no matter what our limitations, there's always choices in life, and here's a person confined to a box, and I was trying to show that even in a box, you know, you still have choices on how to move, how to sit, and that's really, you know, if life's about anything, it's about choices. So thanks for visiting, and hope you enjoyed the show.